Having an amazing day. In today's analysis, we're going to be taking a look at gold, US oil, and Bitcoin as usual. If you're just here for the first time, please find this content helpful. Like, share, and subscribe. And also, I encourage you guys to subscribe to Manager Plan if you want to learn how to trade or you like what we do here on NFX Up. And lastly, subscribe to our Discord platform where we share live analysis, chat setup and trade setup. Last week we had an amazing trade in gold, and that was almost like 900 pips. And if you don't want to miss out on those things, please join our Discord. All right, guys, let's get on chat so without wasting much time. So here on our chat, we can see the chart of gold, XAU-USD. And following up with the last week analysis, we saw the major drop on gold. And if you remember what we said last week, we had this bullish rectangular formation. That was about 2 weeks ago. And we had a breakout, and we expected a full height of the triangle to be achieved as our target profit before we took the sell position. And that is exactly what happened. So you can see that here. We take it on a breakout trade. You see price was at somewhat around the height of this rectangle, slightly above it, but not so much of a big deal. So this is the typical way we have on every rectangle formation on our NFX platform. You can see more about these. So this is a typical setup, and if you have this kind of triangle, you put it in the height. Sometimes it continues, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it drops back, but in this case, it continued. Now, following up with this first major target, we took the sell trade around this level. And because we expected that to happen, and it did happen clockwork. And after the surprise hits new highs of about 160, yeah, we took a sell trade on our Discord platform, and that was almost about uh, 800 pips, I think, thereabouts. So we had this, and that was about, yeah, almost 1,000 people. We closed somewhere around here, so that was about 800 pips, 800 to 900 pips, depending on the entry that you took. So this was a clear or a simple textbook trade, and it turned out really good. And this was based on our last week analysis. So this week, I'm expecting us that we should see more downside, and I don't see much reason why we should continue the bull trend, but there's possibility for that because we're currently in an ascending channel, and that means that there is a high possibility for us to see price, come down towards this lower part of the channel, and it may or it may not test because we're still in a bullish situation on crude because the global economy is not in good shape and there's expected high inflation globally, and that's likely going to push the price of gold way much higher than even what we're seeing right now. But in the short term, we could see price descend a bit lower. Now, there are several resistance or several support level which we have to pay attention to. Now, this is the first major support level. This is the breakout from our previous rectangular uh, formation. And the next possible support would be at the previous resistance level of the triangle. Now, if this holds, then we could like to see price bounce off from this level and linger around this level because it's a bullish, we're in a bullish market. So downside is not so much favorable until there's a potential catalyst that should propel more bearish move or something good start happening back in the market. But right now, nothing of this such is happening. So if price does not hold at this level and bounce up, then we can expect price to trend towards the lower part of the channel, and that will bring us towards probably, let's say maybe like I'm gonna get something like this, linger a little bit, and then we'll see price drop down here 28, 30. This is very unlikely, but it is possible, and or we could also see something like this where price just hangs at this lower level of the next major support. So either of these two levels are going to happen only if we see price consolidate around this level and gives us a bearish consolidation formation. Now, if it's a bearish consolidation formation, probably like a bearish flag, so we see the price jump, or it could also be a bearish rectangle like this, and then continue the descent towards the lower channel of our current ascent channel. So that's all for good. We are mainly working with technicals. We're not doing anything fundamental about this, and there's not so much fundamental apart from the general information we all have about inflation, global tension. Nothing new, nothing extra. So we'll just work with technicals for now, and it's been playing out really good. And we could expect more downside and more trade, but you got to be very careful. You got to watch over these key levels. Major support level at 3,000, and also our next major support level. That was the previous breakout at 29.50. And lastly, we'll be looking towards 28.40. And this is on the daily chat, and even on the hourly chat, we have something very similar to what we have there on the daily chats. You know, we have the multiple support level. You can take this one out. We don't necessarily need this one. It's another key support level again. We have to pay attention to. So if that happens, then we could see price consolidate and drop lower. You know, this is the long-term bearish divergence. That's what even triggered our sell entry above this current price that we had there. So guys, that's all for gold. Now we're gonna move off to US oil. That's very interesting. Now US oil has been in the long-term consolidation in the descending triangle, and earlier this week we saw it break out. And catalyst we needed was just the last. It felt like it was hanging to be sold or to the BS to trap it. And following the last inventory report from the US stock, that was over 6 million barrels. That was ridiculously very high. We saw the US oil completely dropped, you know. And I said this in the previous announcement that we made, you know, when I said there's a possibility for us to see price. I sent a little higher. I'm gonna go back to the daily chat and I'll come back here. So there was one to see price ascend higher, and it did. And just as we expected, this resistance level of 72 or 71.5, it wasn't broken and it held. And we saw price start dropping down below this as well. And this was a clear, a typical sell setup. And I think most of you took this trade as well. I took the trade as well. So if you had this trade, then definitely you should have made a lot of profit from it. And but aside the profit, let's look at the future of what we should expect. So we saw price drop down and price hit $61 a barrel, and that was ridiculously it was unexpected. And I mean, I was hoping we would see price go up a little bit, but you know, this was the end of the triangle. Now, in a typical center triangle, what we usually see, I'm going to show you guys something here. Constellation patterns, yeah. So yeah, so when we get a triangle like this and we get a breakout below the triangle, so this is how we expect to see the height. So we take the height of the triangle and we'll put it at breakout level. So in this case, we're having a bearish situation where we had the breakout below that. That tells us that there's a possibility for us to see price. I'm gonna pick up the tool. We see price gets, this is the height of this triangle. Now we'll put this, we'll duplicate this, and I'm gonna put this somewhere around here. Now there's a possibility for us to see price get as low as $46. This is a long-term talk, so I'm gonna go back here. So this is a long-term talk. So there's a possibility for us to see price get as low as $46 or $45 per barrel. That depends on if this current level does not hold. Now, previously we were working with the 2-year lows. That was from May 2023 up to 2025 or April, you know. But now that we've broken out on this current support level, that means that the next possible support level we can work with is the August 2021 lows or April 2021 lows. And this is like the last surviving support. If this is broken, that means we're going straight down to $45 because there's nothing really sufficient to hold the price of crude. And right now, I mean, both Canada and the US, which are major exporters of crude and importers of crude, they don't necessarily need this much anymore. And both of them are trying to push the price down. I mean, only OPEC is trying to hold higher prices, but the US trying to push price down. Trump is very clear about the stance on crude, and there's likely possibility for us to see crude drop down really low to $45. So, but on technical aspect, we cannot say anything about that until we have a clear indication of a sellout. Now, this level, like I said, is a key level, and this is what we should pay attention to. If this level breaks this week, then it is fully confirmed that we're going straight down to 45 based on technical analysis, based on textbook analysis as well. So guys, keep an eye on that. Um, Everything is exactly as we expected, and it's going exactly as we expected. So if there's any change, any major news, maybe we'll see price retain or retest back our previous support level. And but there's nothing bullish about the market right now, so I won't be looking towards any bullish entries. I'm going to focus more on potential sell setup. So if we get a retest, short it again, most likely. But of course, stay tuned on the Discord platform. I'm going to update that more details about that then. So lastly is Bitcoin. Now, as much as I'd like to be optimistic about Bitcoin, there is no solid stance on Bitcoin. I mean, this is the 200-day moving average, and it's clearly probably currently just below the 200-day moving average. And that's not a good indication for any bullish market at all. You know, it's clearly tells that there's a possibility that the market could turn bearish for a short period of time. We could see price actually dip down to 70K, which nobody want to see. but it's very possible that we should see price dip down to 70K. And if that happens, it's going to shake out a lot of people out in the market. A lot of people are going to get liquidated. A lot of people are going to get bankrupt, and a lot of companies are going to shut down. It's going to be a terrible state. But just maybe it needs to happen for us to see interest back into the market. Cheaper prices, more people want to buy, and that could propel the last leg of the rally. Now we don't have so much time left for this rally. As much as we are optimistic that we should see maybe 250K per BTC, there's only a few months left, less than 8 months. I mean, this is currently April. We have May, June, July, August, September, October. And this is the last month we have for this rally to give us anything significant. If we're going to get a boost, I'm hoping that boost happens within the next 6 or 7 months. And if that doesn't happen, or if the next month doesn't happen, then the hope or optimism about 200K BTC might be gone. We might be looking at for the next rally. But I'm trying to be optimistic and not be so pessimistic about the chart, because right now the chart don't give us any indication for any bullish moment. There's no bullish sign even anywhere in the daily, in the hourly, in the weekly, in the 2 weeks charts. All bearish. Even the dividers is 107 is very, very bearish. So we can only work with optimism right now and hope that something good happens in the market. We need a clear breakout. We need some divine intervention right now on Bitcoin for us to see the crypto market regain some bullish momentum. But if nothing shows forth, nothing's going to happen, and we're going to be stuck in this or repetitive cycle or lingered consolidation where price stays around this price for a long period of time. So guys, that's all for our weekly analysis. We've covered gold, US oil, and Bitcoin. Like I said, if you find it's going to be very helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. And share your thoughts in the comment section below or in our Discord platform. And yeah, if you have any questions as well, share those questions in the comment section below. So cheers, and wish you guys happy trading and a safe, profitable week ahead. Cheers.